right, welcome back to Cricket for Americans. Nick here.
Gabe, the Night Watchman.
And in honor of Robbie, I got the hat on here today. But we are talking about this crazy match. Gujarat Titans versus SRH. Two teams, and we said it before, I have no problem admitting we were wrong. Two teams we did not expect to be considered too much by the end of the season. We're still in that middle range of the season, but Gabe, sign me up some more of these. I can watch 5 more of these matchups as the rest of the year goes on, if it's anything like this one, because this match had a whole lot of similarities with the two sides as the match went on. We had amazing performances from a few guys. I can't wait to talk about this match. But before we do, we're not going to do an R3 Wickets today because we just have so many things, random thoughts we want to say about it. So we got another episode of Cricket Convos.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Cricket Convos, Nick. And, first and foremost, just a quick recap of the match, all right? The Titans won the toss, and I'm going to say the Titans because I don't say Gujarat or Gujarat or I don't say it properly.
You got it right there, Gujarat.
And I keep getting killed in the comment section. My apologies. That's why I'm wearing the Street Fighter shirt, bro, because some internet gangster was telling me, bro, I'll cut your face. I'm like, oh, I didn't know I was in Wasserper. You know what I'm saying? Easy, cousin. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like
Who said that?
Somebody said that. Face. I was like, wow.
Did they really?
I had to delete the comment.
But, okay. All right.
With that being said, you know what I mean? The Titans come in and win the toss, and they decide to go ahead and bat first. Now, I mean,
bowl first.
Yeah. They decide to bowl first.
Take the field.
Now, it's going against conventional wisdom because the last few teams that have played here have been able to defend the score. But again, it is what it is. This is the greatness of Hardik Pandya. He ends up making the right call because they needed to know the grounds, and they end up winning the game barely. It took some heroics from all over the place. But back to what we talked about in our mid-season review, I think that this is why, and this match tells me why I did not see SRH holding on to that bottom spot, or I said for a fact I saw Gujarat staying up there in the top 4 because SRH their batting just isn't deep enough. Kane Williamson's form is looking atrocious, Nick. At some point, we got to stop talking about that because, listen, I get it. He's the great Kane Williamson. And watch, the minute I say that, he's going to go out and score like a bazillion runs. Right now, he's like, what? He's watching the video saying, what? Where's the West Indies? Let me let them have it. When's the USA going to come and play? I want to let them have it too. Kane Williamson personally has a vendetta against me. But, with that being said, this game was so excited, and SRH did what SRH was supposed to do. They were in a position to win. They had scored a $190 and change, and it took an unbelievable performance at the end there by a bowler of all things, Rashid Khan, and of course Tawadia, who's an all-rounder, to pull this game out. And I think on the other side, it was also bad. And Nick, you might be shocked, but it was bad captaincy on the side of Kane Williamson. But, before I jump into all of that, I want your quick thoughts on the match. I know that we both thought it was over, especially when Gujarat took so many wickets early. And the performance that we wanted to talk about was the 5-wicket haul. Oh, daddy, that 5-wicket haul from the young boy, hopefully I say this right, Umran Malik. Thoughts, Nick?
Umran Malik is a revelation, and I'm telling you right now, you guys can say that I'm overreacting all you want, but what I was thinking as I'm watching, because Gabe and I and a lot of us have him on our fantasy squad.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, first of all, was the only one to take wickets for SRH. The only one. He took 5, baby. 5, averaging like 150 kph. When he took Saha's wicket, it was like 153 almost. Right. This guy took all the wickets. He took a wicket in every over that he bowled. I don't think I've seen that too many times in the IPL. Every over he came in there, wicket. It got to the point where I'm texting Gabe, and his fourth wicket was like, is he gonna get a wicket this over? He got 2 of them, baby. He got 2 of them when nobody else could. This guy is absolutely amazing. He is thumping Yorkers at people's feet, obviously. Super, super fast. This guy, I think he got I think he bowled out on almost all of them. Let me double check on that one because that's just crazy to me. Bowled out Saha, bowled out Gill, catch by Marco Janssen, bowled out Miller, and bowled out Manohar. So almost bowled out all of them but one. This guy, 22 years old, and he's super humble. Gabe, they ask him all about all these kind of things. They're exciting. Are you going to be able to keep doing this? Are you going to be able to hit 155? All this kind of stuff. He said, listen, if God wills it, I'll do it. Yeah. I mean, this guy, 22 years old. Listen, you thought I went crazy for Wickets iron on the Indian side? I'm going to lose my mind on this guy. This guy is absolutely unbelievable. I was thinking about when it was happening. I was like, okay, this guy, he just punched his ticket. I told Gabe, the name of our video is going to be Malik punched his ticket to the World Cup. And I know you guys are going to say, whoa, calm down. Listen, it wasn't just me saying it, all right? It was Kevin Peterson. He's like, if they don't call him up to the England one test match they have, India and England, I'm going to call him up myself. I mean, it's not just me. People are losing their minds. And I hope for this kid, he stays humble. He stays calm. He reminds me of Justin Herbert, who's just amazing. But you ask him, he doesn't want to talk about himself. This guy was unbelievable. He single-handedly almost won the match. He was player of the match for crying out loud. Oh, my God. I mean, I can't stop gushing about this kid. I'm so excited for him. And I salivate thinking about in the future at some point, a Bumrah, a Shami, a Malik. Oh, no. I can't help myself, Gabe. I can't help myself. 22 years old.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting, Nick. And the only thing I got to tell you is he's got that Bumrah in him. We didn't get to watch the whole match, but I got to watch some captain reviews, and we did get to see a little bit of it early, right? And yeah. I got Hardik Pandya on my squad, and Hardik Pandya comes in to say, okay, stop this foolishness. I'm going to ride the team. This is one of the best batsmen in the world, right? I'm going to put this team on my back like I have, and I'm going to win this game for us. And Umran Malik says, not on my watch. So the first over, he survives it. And I'm saying, literally, he survives it, gets a little boundary off of him. Umran Malik's like, okay, Nick, he's able to, he comes in and immediately Umran Malik puts one in his shoulder, bro. In his shoulder. A nasty bouncer. Savage. And bro, that is my pitch, all right? I'm throwing 150, cousin. Hold
you
that.
You love it, man.
And you
love it.
Bro, and you saw Hardik like, oh, this young fella got some heat. And he kind of walked it off, and to his credit, came and got himself a little boundary after that. The very next over, you could see that he was a little bit more cautious. And then when that ball came, he tried to swing, popped it up in the air. It went backwards. It was caught by, I think it was actually Marco Jansen. Might have been the only thing he did that actually caught it. Gosh. But that just shows you the intimidation when you can throw gas like that and you wear it and you remind somebody, oh, yeah, that's me. You're a little less leery to be crowding, those stumps and protecting those stumps. And it's tough.
150 on the regular? No.
Bro, gas.
Take my wicket.
I agree.
Take my wicket.
He should be on the Australia side. He should be in my opinion, he should make the along with Booby and Bumrah. But those pitches out there in Australia, think about it. Australia only plays one spinner, right? Nathan Lyon. You can't have too many spinners out there. And it would argue, you're probably going to have Jadeja in the lineup. So that means Ashwin, all these other guys got to stay in. And you got to go with your guys, bro, because those guys throw gas, bro. I'm so impressed by this guy. And I just love his demeanor. Fired up. It looked like the Titans were going to cruise to easy victory. Nobody could take a wicket in the power play. I mean, Saha's dominating. He's at like 60-plus runs. He breaks up the opening partnership immediately. His first over, he comes in and takes that wicket. I love this kid. You're right, Nick. I love this kid. He's amazing.
He is absolutely amazing. Let us know what you think about Umran Malik. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I want to talk about the crazy similarities in this match. Because I didn't think that one side had it in the bag. I know SRH scored 195 in their first innings, and you had talked about how about these grounds and whatnot, and how they didn't have enough batting and it cost them. I disagree with that. They scored 195. I checked it up. The score today was the second highest combined score at this stadium. The other one, surprise, was a Royals matchup, but. The second highest. The first match of the season was at this stadium, if I'm not mistaken. 130s we're talking about. SRH did as much as they could. And how did they do that? They were able to have some big performances. So let's talk about some similarities. Both teams started off with their opener. The number one guy got 65 or more. Saga got 68. Sharma got 65. Fantastic. Both teams had one of their tail enders put on a display. Never heard of Shashank Singh. Never heard of this guy before. He's been picked up by different teams in the IPL. I believe this was his debut match. 25 runs, for crying out loud. I think he bowled 1 over, if I'm not wrong. No, he didn't. That was a previous match for a previous team. Came in, 25 runs. 25 runs on a few balls. I mean, this guy was unbelievable. Who did that for SRH? You're talking about who did that for the Titans, excuse me. You're talking about Rashid Khan, who used to be with SRH. This guy could do nothing bowling-wise. He's really, really struggled, in my opinion, getting those wickets, but he was able to pick his team up. Both of these teams nearly scored 200. Both of these teams had exactly 25 runs in the 20th over. Both of these teams in that 20th over had 4 sixes, a dot, and a single. I mean, you can't make this up. Both teams in the power play scored over 50. Both teams in the death scored over 55. These two teams are so similar. You had guys who weren't able to do too much. You got the Hoodies, baby. I mean, you thought it was bad enough. You thought it was bad enough that Lucky Ferguson, right? Lucky Ferguson. He was unlucky, baby, that he couldn't get any wickets, and he got 52. But then we're talking about Marco Jansen, right? 63. So move out of the way. As far as this season, Sam's by, Siraj by. You got a new king of the Hootie, 63, and he's sitting there with his crown and with his scepter. I mean, that's a lot of runs, baby. So many similarities. So much fun to watch this match. I'm going back and forth in my mind. Okay, am I going to be Robbie gloating, or am I going to do a regular video straight match? I mean, what am I going to do? Oh, get a little thing away right there. Well, what did you think about this craze? I think about the similarities of the craziness. There's so many amazing. I mean, Rashid Khan, 6, 6, 6, 6, right? I mean, the same with Singh, 6, 6, 6. These guys are unbelievable. It was so much fun to follow this match.
I'm going to go ahead and steal and I'm saying it right now, I'm going to steal it from the broadcast. It's not Rashid Khan anymore. It's Rashid Khan, baby, because Rashid Khan, baby. What? You're not going to give me any wickets? I'm going to do it with the bat, because on my watch, we're not going down. Oh, Rashid Khan, that was so impressive. For a bowler to go out there, because people are going to say, oh, he's an all-around. No, Rashid Khan is a bowler, right? He could swing the bat a little bit. He went out there
swing the bat pretty good. I've seen it several times.
Work.
Yeah.
Put in work, Nick. It was super impressive. Super impressive. I'm telling you right now, I think that, man, this is why I like the Titans to hold on to that top spot. We talked about who do I think was not going to hold on to the top spot. I didn't think it was going to be SRH. Now, there's still some time to be done. And we literally put out this video a day ago. But here's the thing. Going on to SRH. We love the performance, obviously, by Umran Malik. Umran Malik isn't going to have a 5-wicket haul. And Booby had a great bowling performance. You're not always going to take wickets. I understand that, right? But again, Marco Jansen, 63 runs. You are the new Hootie line, my friend. That is unacceptable. And here's the thing why I think Kane Williamson made a mistake, Nick. Not only is he playing terribly, he didn't go to anyone else. And I know at that point you're going to say, oh, well, who are you going to turn to in the death? You should have not let Marco Jansen get to the death, because Marco Jansen did not look good since his very first over. So at that point, you can still make the decision to sneak in. What is it? Singh? He bowled, like you said, the last game, 1 over, gave up 10 runs. You know who else bowls, Nick? Abhishek Sharma. They could have had Abhishek Sharma, the young 21-year-old, bowled 8 over in the middle. But Marco Jansen was the one guy that from his very first over, you could tell, yeah, this guy doesn't got it today. All right. Now, obviously, he gave up 25 in the death.
25 in the 20. Yeah.
He was getting blown up every single over. So at that point, you got to start thinking ahead and say, there's no way I'm putting this guy in the death when you see what's going on. And I know people are going to say, well, he bowled Natharajan in the 19th over, right? Which is what you're supposed to do. A ball bowl him in the 19th over. It's the question is still out. The jury's out because a lot of games have come down to this year. Do you bowl your best bats bowler in the 19th over or the 20th over? Conventional wisdom says the 19th over. It's like that. You have a bigger cushion to play with in the 20th over. You know what I'm saying, Nick? But you should not have put Jansen in there because you knew he was getting blown up, Nick. Because I'm telling you, it was absolutely ugly from the first ball. His pace was also down a little bit. So I think that Kane Williamson failed his team from that standpoint. Not to mention 5 on 8, 1-4, 1-6. He's had one good match this season, Nick. Count it. One. That's why Abhishek Sharma, Tripathi, and Adam Markram aren't enough. Perron's had a few good games, but it's not enough. Those three guys, because Kane Williamson has faltered all but one game, and Nicholas Perron has had like 1 or 2 good games. All right, they don't have enough bats, in my opinion. Go ahead, your thoughts.
No, I agree with you. I don't think that's been the weakness all year long. It's like the Titans' weakness too. So it's interesting that both these teams put up 190 because I do think it's going to catch up to them at one point. The thing that's crazy for the Titans that we haven't mentioned yet, and I haven't really thought about too much till right now, is you have 3 wicket keepers technically. I think who's at their one, Gurbaz or something like that for the Titans, right? Wade has not been cutting the mustard, and I've always been a champion of Wade. I saw him one of my first few matches, what he was playing in, he went bonkers. So that's always the impression I had. But he's been struggling. So you bench him, you bring in Saha, again, former SRH player. We've seen what Saha's all about. He has these abilities to put these kind of performances. I wasn't sure about the strike rate that he put up early on, but you bring him in, 68 runs. No offense to Matthew Wade, but the form he's been in, I don't see him getting even close to 38 runs. So that was a huge move right there. Now's the time to bring in Saha. And he's experienced. I'm not saying like it was a big wild card, but it still was a big change that really ended up helping out. Rashid Khan, I mean, he was getting destroyed left and right. Loki Ferguson was doing really well his first over. I mean, I think he averaged in the high 140s every single ball. But SRH, I was really proud of the batters that were in that first over. I can't remember who they were because they weren't even being tempted by it. They were all going on the offside. They were all way past the stump on the offside. And so why even bother, right? Why even try to get that quick edge? He seemed like he was really on a mission, but then he fell apart, right? I think he also bowled the 20th over, which we've seen before. The crazy thing about the last over for the game, the Titans needed 22 off 6. Most situations, you're pretty safe right there. Then they needed 9 off 2. Most situations, you're going to be safe right there. Then they needed 3 off 1. And Rashid Khan, that was really, really impressive what he was able to do. But one guy that we haven't talked about either, there's so many guys. Tawadia didn't bowl a single ball. You don't need him as a bowler anymore, apparently, because this guy is a finisher, right? It was a one-hit wonder a few years ago for the Royals when he went off. One-hit wonder. He's no longer a one-hit wonder. I count 3 matches that he has finished and saved as far as the batting goes for the Titans. This guy, you don't even use him as a bowler. Hardik Pandya even used himself. That makes you a little nervous. Is he not feeling? Is he feeling a little stiff? He's not feeling 100% to not bowl himself at least once or twice?
He got hurt last match. He didn't want to say it, but he got hurt last match and didn't bowl. And they asked him about it. He's like, oh, I had a little niggle. And that's the thing. That's a knock on him. So he's hurt. Right.
I want him to be 100% because this guy can take over the world for crying out loud. But Tawadia, 40 off 21, I believe it was. This guy is incredible. He really, really is. He's the new DK, right? And this season's young. DK struggled the last 2 matches. This guy has been more consistent when he gets those opportunities. Very, very happy for Tawadia. Always love Tawadia. Missed this, but I love Tawadia. But I mean, those are my main thoughts. It was so exciting to watch this match between these 2 teams. I hope we get this in the playoffs in some way, shape, or form. Why don't you give us some final thoughts there, Gabe?
I think my final thoughts are that, we've seen this happen before, right? When you only carry 5 quote unquote bowlers, it's basically saying I trust these guys no matter what, right? And I know people are going to kill me in the comment section for what else is new, but they're going to say, Abhishek Sharma is, listed as an all-rounder, but he doesn't have, too many, He doesn't have too many wickets in his career. The guy's only 21.
Right.
You guys are absolutely right. He doesn't have a lot of wickets in his career. Guy's only 21, but he can bowl. The point is, you could have gone to somebody else at that point. You should have gone to somebody else at that point because it's ugly, Nick. It's super ugly. First over, Marco Jansen gave up 18. Then he gave up 7. Then it was 13. Like, I'm not trusting the guy that gave up 13 and 20 and 18 in 2 of his first 3 overs in the death. You could see he wasn't getting any wickets. He wasn't getting any kind of you know what I mean? Like movement on his ball. His pace was down a little bit. At that point, you got to make a different choice. And I think that because the scoring has been so down for Kane Williamson, right? They went with these. Okay, we got Washington Sundar back, so we're gonna go with him in the lineup. Right, we got obviously Marco Jansen, not the right hand, and Marco Jansen got a 3-wicket haul the last game out. But guys aren't going to do that every time. I understand that, and unlike the Titans, who feel comfortable where, listen, I didn't even have to use Tawadia, but I could have. They've got to have another guy that can bat and bowl at the same time. You know what I mean? It's an issue because right now they're a little light, and I can see this happening to them. What if 1 or 2 of their guys aren't firing that day? You've got to have what's the word, Nick? Versatility. Romeo Shepherd, he can swing the bat. That might have been maybe a good idea to have Romeo Shepherd in there. You know, he's not bowling right now, but bowling quicks have been the way to go. And I'm not telling them not to, but you got to have a backup plan. I think that's where Kane Williamson came up a little bit shit. That and the bat. We got to talk about how bad his form is in the IPL this year. It is absolutely terrible. And for the Titans, bro, I'm a believer. Because to your point, yes, Tawadia has saved 3 games for these guys now. All right. Rashid Khan, yes, got himself 31, hit in that last over. But it took the 40 from Tawadia to even get him to that point. At striking at 190, that was impressive. Yeah. And when you've got Saha now, I think they finally found something in the opening partnership. Shubman Gill, Hardik Pandya, David Miller, Tawadia, I think that's enough. Because Munhar came in and only gave him 1 ball. He got bowled out by Malik. That's not going to happen that often. But you're not going to need, if you get anything, and I mean anything out of Munhar there, you're not going to need the heroics from Tawadia. Not to mention, they also got guys like the Night Watchman, Azari Joseph, who can swing the bat. So I think they have enough, Nick, and I am in love with this team. I'm absolutely in love with this team.
Well, you talked about how Manohar didn't survive. I'm trying to do the math right now. Not a lot of people survived against Malik, okay? I think maybe the only guy that survived him was not Tawadia. Was it Tawadia? I think it's the only guy that survived him, right? The only guy, because he took all the other wickets, for crying out loud. Yeah, Tawadia was not out. Last I want to say, I know I always do this line thing. Shami was amazing in this match. Gave a lot of runs, 39, but he was almost a one-man show. A few of the wickets by the Night Watchman, Azari Joseph, and who got the other wicket? I can't remember. Dial. But Shami was amazing. Shami, just like Umran Malik, he was spreading out his wickets, different overs he was bowling, and he was really able to keep SRH honest. Fun match. Sign me up for another one. It's not going to happen once it gets to the playoffs. These teams are going to the playoffs, in my opinion. We'll see if they play against each other. You're right, Gujarat Titans, and they still have a match to go for crying out. They only got 8 matches so far. I mean, almost everyone does, but RCB's already got 9. Somehow DC's only got 7. The schedule gods love them so much. Let us know what you think about our thoughts here. Let us know what you think about this match. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.
That's 6 runs.